everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through as I bake and decorate my son's cake and cupcakes for his 3rd birthday. I'm super excited to show you guys what I come up with. Now, I am by no means a cake decorating expert, so it's not going to look perfect, but I'm sure he'll be happy about it and my kids will love it, and that's honestly all that matters. I have made a few other cakes in the past. As I've tried to get a little more creative, I've resorted to, YouTube channels and Pinterest and everything for some ideas. I most recently made a unicorn cake for my daughter, which was lots of fun, and I think it turned out great. I've made like a Lego scene cake for my oldest. I did a Star Wars cake for my husband last year and a My Little Pony cake for my daughter last year. So I've also done some tier cakes for family members and stuff. So I kind of have a little bit of fun with it. The piping, the decorating, it's kind of fun to do this like creative thing. So I will include a link to the recipe for the cake in the description box below. But when it says it's an easy chocolate cake recipe, it is honestly super easy. And if you have anyone with an egg allergy, it's perfect because there are no eggs in it. So if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you do enjoy this type of content as well as other stuff you see here on my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. So don't forget that red subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from me. Now let's do this. So the first thing I wanted to do was draw out my design. I had to actually draw it out twice because I kind of didn't like how I did it the first time. And this gives me a really good idea of how much icing I'm going to use and what colors I'm going to use. So I definitely recommend this if you're not familiar with the cake that you're designing. So first I'm going to mix the batter for the cake and the cupcakes. They both use the same recipe, but I'm going to do the cake first. So you're going to whisk together the flour, the sugar, the cocoa powder, the baking soda, and the salt. Next, you're going to whisk in the cold water, the oil, and the vanilla and stir until it's all mixed together. Lastly, you're going to stir in the vinegar. Next, you're going to line the pan with parchment paper on the bottom and then spray the pan. And then once you put the mixture into the pan, I usually bang a little bit to get the bubbles out, and then you're going to put it in the oven at 350 for approximately 30 to 35 minutes. You're going to then repeat the same steps to make the batter for the cupcakes, and then I like to use a large cookie scoop to scoop the batter into the cupcake liners because it makes them nice and even, and you're going to put them in at 350 for approximately 20 minutes. I poke the cake and the cupcakes with a toothpick to make sure it comes out clean, and then I put them on a cooling rack. I let the cake sit in the pan for about 10 minutes before I put it onto a cooling rack. Next, I'm going to make the classic butter icing. So first I'm going to cream the soft butter and some of the icing sugar. And then after I'm going to add the vanilla, the milk, and the rest of the icing sugar and mix it together. And then I'm going to add a bit more milk. Now I was supposed to add the cocoa powder at the beginning of this, but I forgot, so I added at the end, but it still tasted just like chocolate icing. And just note, I doubled the recipe for the chocolate icing. Next, I'll repeat the same steps for the rest of my icing. I make a couple more double batches and a single batch, but as always, my icing sugar goes everywhere because I decided to put the mixer on a little too fast. Let me know in the comments below if this happens to you, because for me, it never fails that I get icing sugar everywhere as I'm trying to make icing. I like to make my icing ahead of time, so I always put it into containers with lids. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the food coloring. So I typically use paste or gel, not actual food coloring, because I find the color comes out way better. I just keep adding a few drops at a time and keep stirring until I get the color that I like. I usually like to make the icing the day before and sit in the fridge overnight because I find the color becomes a better color, especially for something like red. I got these boxes off Amazon for the cupcakes. I thought this was the perfect way to hand out cupcakes while keeping everyone safe. Now it's time to ice the cupcakes. I have a bunch of different icing tips. I typically have a couple that I use. In this one, I'm just going to use one of my bigger icing tips and just do a swirl on top of the cupcakes because it's quite a simple design but looks really nice. the cupcakes were iced, I wanted to get the ones boxed up for the next day so that they're ready to go for the drive-by. After those cupcakes were boxed up, I wanted to ice the rest of them because I still had icing left over and cupcakes left over because of course I had more than enough cupcakes. But when I do this technique for the icing, it actually brings back memories of working at McDonald's and making ice cream cones because it's a very similar technique. Now it's time to decorate the cake. So first what I did was I outlined the 3 in chocolate because I was going to be doing chocolate icing for the road. So I want to get that outlined first and then I was going to fill it in with the chocolate icing. So I took my time to do that and I'm actually pleased with how the 3 turned out. So I filled the whole entire 3 with the chocolate icing and tried to make it as smooth as possible. This was the first time I'd used this icing tip, so it took a bit to get the hang of it, but overall I think it looked really good. Once the grass area was completed, I wanted to outline the 3 in white so that it stood out a bit, and then also make the little lines in the road. Once the top of the cake was done, I wanted to put icing around the edge. This was actually a bit tricky because I'd already done the grass, so I probably, if I were to do it again, I would do the edge first and then pipe the grass afterwards. My husband made the start and finish signs and just attached them to skewers that he broke in half. Alright, so the cake and cupcakes are all done and ready to go. His birthday is actually today, so I'm glad I got that done last night. I stayed up till about 10:30 doing it, but it was well worth the time to do it. So the last thing I want to do here this morning is I want to decorate our card table because we have some family members coming by to wish him a happy birthday. So I just want to decorate the table to have out there for when they come by to grab a cupcake and give him a gift. Then I just like to have the little table decorated since we're not really doing a party, so then I'll use it throughout the day here. So I just got some few decorations here off Amazon, so I'll just show you quickly what I got. So my son really likes cars, so I decided to get some simple decor for cars. I got this package off Amazon. Everything was included in this package. I'll try and remember to include the link to that in my description box below. But we got some banners here that I'm going to put along the bottom of the table, some napkins, some plates, so we'll use these tonight when we do our cake and everything with him tonight. This little tablecloth I can put on the table, and some cutlery, like they have little cars on the ends of them, so they're kind of cute. There's forks, knives, and spoons, and some little cups. So I thought that'd be kind of fun for him since we're not really doing a big party or anything, so I kind of just want to make it a little bit special for him. So I'm going to show you here as I decorate the table and see how it looks after we're done. Even though we're not having a party and just having some people drive by, I wanted to blow up some balloons to put on the tree out front and then also a couple balloons for the table. So I took our card table and I just want to decorate it with a tablecloth and a few pendants that I found and add the balloons and just to make it look like a little bit of a party table, and I had the cupcakes on here for the drive-by. I want to have a little fun and decorate the table since we weren't having a big party full of decorations. I'm really happy with how everything turned out and had lots of fun doing it for my son. He had a great birthday and everyone enjoyed the cupcakes who came by, and my husband and my kids all enjoyed the cake. And the first thing my son did once he blew out the candles on his cake was he took all the cars off the cake because of course he wanted to play with them, which is fine. It's his cake. He can do whatever he wants. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up as it does help my channel a lot. If you do enjoy this video as well as other content you see here on my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining my YouTube family. So don't forget that red subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!